Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Woodlawn's Youth Late Night Show, the show where we bring good news and fun from God's house to yours. I'm your host, Luke Kimmery, and alongside me is star co-host, Joe Cool. Oh yeah, and Matt's also here.
Wow, thank you for that underwhelming introduction, Luke.
Yeah, no problem, Matt. As you can probably tell on the live stream right now, our sound quality is much better. You'll have to forgive us for last week. We were a little underprepared in the sound department, but this week, hopefully, it is much clearer. Though we did run into one issue. We sort of sound like chipmunks on the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of sound like a chipmunk either way, Luke.
You know what, Matt? Yeah. I take that as a compliment. Cool. Huge shout out to Matt Rosenberg for setting up the sound system for us, though I do think he's pranking us right now. I think he's the reason why we sound like chipmunks.
Yeah, he does deserve some applause, though, so thank you, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Matt. Well, I don't know about you guys, but we are very excited for episode 2 of the Late Night Show. Last week, our first show was a huge success. It went viral, and all of our analysts said that by tonight at 12 a.m., everyone in the world will have watched the first episode. So that's really cool.
Luke, we don't have any analysts.
How have we not hired analysts yet?
I mean, we definitely can, but then we wouldn't be able to pay you this summer and fall.
Okay, we will not be having analysts, but I can tell you one thing. We don't need an analyst to tell you that we have a great show in store for you tonight. We have a whole new interview. We have a new game. We have some great epic hashtag moments for you and some awesome stories that we can't wait to share. But first, let's kick it off with announcements.
All right, guys, a few announcements for you guys. Yes, 5 minutes for announcements. We love announcements at Woodlawn. That's right. All right, guys. So a couple things for us. Number one, house party. So we actually had our first house party yesterday.
Yes.
We're doing that on Tuesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. It was great yesterday. We had like at
200
least
people.
8 people.
8. Yeah.
8 people. At least 8 students. There were some more adults. Not 192. But there were 8 students, some adults there. It was fun. We hung out. I don't know. But we were doing that anyway. And I thought it was a good time with some students. You did what?
Well, I played basketball with Michael, Nate, and we also played ping pong.
Oh, okay.
The only person who beat me was Blake.
Was he the only person you played?
No. Actually, I was undefeated up until that point in time.
Cool. Good. Okay.
So thank you.
I was just curious. Yeah.
Matt.
Well, guys, on Tuesdays from 3 to 5 p.m., we are doing this thing called House Party at the high school youth house. So would love for you guys to be there. We're not doing it next week, but we'll do it throughout the summer, unless we say we're not.
Yeah.
But otherwise, every Tuesday you can expect we'll be having a house party.
Except next Tuesday.
Except next Tuesday. And when else we say we're not.
So.
But Tuesdays.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that clear as mud?
You guys do understand. You're smart
right.
people. So that's Tuesdays. That's house party. We'll also be doing on Thursdays shakes at Sonic. Sonic is America's drive-in.
That's what they say.
I think that's their slogan. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But anyway, on Thursdays, from 3 to 5 p.m., we'll be at the Sonic, just right here close to the church. And we'll be eating shakes, I guess. I mean, that's what I'm going to get. There's other things you can get, but I like shakes. So I'm going to get a shake. But yeah, 3 to 5 p.m., Sonic right here close by. I will personally, with the youth budget, buy the first shake of the first person there. And not to say that, well, I guess you have to buy your second shake. I mean, the shake of the first person.
The first shake of the first person.
It is the first shake of the first person. But,
yeah,
you know, I'm not buying your second one or the second person's one. The first shake.
I think you might be over-explaining
I
this.
am. Okay. Thursdays, 3 to 5 p.m., we'll be getting shakes at Sonic.
Please silence.
You know what that means. You need to silence yourself. That's really distracting. 3 to 5 p.m. Sonic on Thursdays, but not Thursday.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Next Thursday.
Matt, I have one question.
Yes.
Do you eat a shake or do you drink a shake?
I like to eat my shakes. I like to use a spoon.
We're going to move on to the next segment before
Damn it.
all of us
Okay.
get too angry at Matt for that
I'm sorry.
poor phrasing. You may not remember from last week, or maybe you do, or perhaps you are live streaming for the first time with us right now. Our first segment that we do is called Happy Stuff. It is loosely based off of Some Good News, the hit YouTube series hosted by John Krasinski. Last week we said the point of this isn't to distract ourselves from our broken world, but to remind us that there's still good in it. And so our desire is to share stories from the Woodlawn community that hopefully put a smile on your face because they put a smile on ours.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get started. Let's get some happy stuff going.
Let's do it.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Love this song.
Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
Hey, Luke.
Yeah, what's up?
You know, you should really stick to hosting, man. I don't see a promising future for you in dancing.
Matt, that would have been fixed if you just agreed to go to Zumba with me.
Luke, for the 100th time, I'm not going to do Zumba with you.
Well, then I'm not going to stop dancing badly. So whose fault is that?
Yours?
Really? It's my fault? You know, you probably also think that it's my fault that 25 million butterflies are killed by cars every year too, huh?
What is it with you and those butterflies?
25 million! Anyways, let's get started with our first story.
Let's, please.
Our first story of good news takes place all the way back on June 3rd with the birth of Clark Coman. Our congrats go to the Coman family. Our prayers do as well. That's super exciting. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
There is currently a link on the Woodlawn Facebook page where you can sign up to offer to bring meals to the Coman family. If that's something that you're interested in, the page is the Woodlawn Christian Church Facebook page. Something else you can do for this family is pray. Pray for sleep. Yeah. Our next story comes from Philip Curry, who last Thursday celebrated 55 years of marriage with his wife, Carolyn. Congratulations, you two. Philip said on his message, "When we said for better or worse, in sickness or in health, till death do us part, we meant it." Well, that's probably one of the most heartwarming things that I've heard all week. Thank you, Philip and Carolyn, for that example of consistent love and faithfulness in a world where that's rare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, congrats, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the good news of Woodlawn just keeps rolling, as last Thursday we heard about the $85,000 raised during Global Fest and how it's being used to share the gospel, as well as going towards the production of video sources that will share the gospel in Swahili. These funds are being used in several countries for a variety of different projects that include providing media production equipment and training to Christian college students in both Mexico and India, providing equipment and meeting miscellaneous needs for production for GNPI Nomad teams in both Kenya and Chile, and producing a half-hour film about the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ for Star TV to an estimated 40 million people. That's just a few out of the 13 additional projects that were made possible because of Woodlawn's giving. Thank you to all of you who gave. Thank you for your generosity. You are making an impact in God's kingdom. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Sort of on the topic, Matt, didn't you tell me that you made a home video where you shared the gospel in Swahili?
Luke, I mean, I have a lot of home videos, like as a baby, that are very entertaining, wildly so, but none in Swahili, man.
Really? Because you showed me, you pulled me backstage before the show, and you showed me the video. You were super excited, and your Swahili seemed pretty good, dude.
Luke, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Matt, you always do this to me.
You always set yourself up for this.
Our last announcement
Last announcement.
comes from Lilia Weatherly, Last Saturday, her dad made sushi, which made Lilia very happy. We're also happy for you, Lilia, and we hope that you continue to enjoy many more sushis in the future. What's the plural of sushi? Is it sushis?
I don't know. I mean,
Sushi?
is it fish? Like geese?
Sushis. As always, be sure to go to our church's social media page on Friday so that you can share your stories of joy so that we can celebrate together. Our next segment is an interview with one of our very own students. Let's welcome Aiden Smith to the stage.
Yeah.
You just want to sit right there? Aiden, tell us a little bit about yourself. What grade are you in? A fun fact, maybe a hobby?
Okay, so I am going to be a junior. I'm 16. Just turned 16. And my fun fact is that when we went to CIY last year, me and my friends made a music video to Big Time Rush's Boyfriend, and we got it up in the big screen in front of everyone.
Yeah, that was legendary.
That sounds awesome. Well, what is your most proud accomplishment? If that is your most proud accomplishment, I would understand.
Yeah.
I could say that, but I think it's second. I think I'm really proud of my friends.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. Well, she's proud of you.
Are any of them in here tonight?
Yes,
Okay, that's good.
most of them.
Well, we won't make you call all of them out. So the majority of what we want to hear, what is sort of like the story of how you came to know Jesus today? Like, how did you get here?
Okay, well, I grew up in the church all my life. Like, I can't remember never going to church.
Sure.
And it was always kind of like, oh yeah, I know Jesus. But it wasn't until middle school when I kind of got really involved in my youth group over at Crossings that I kind of started to build that relationship some more.
Yeah.
And it just kind of kept growing. And then I got to Woodlawn and yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's really cool. I know that there are many people watching who grew up in the church, and oftentimes we might feel like that means that we don't have a story. But that's not true. The majority of people feel that way, but
Yeah.
that's just as powerful as the story as I've heard. So thank you for a consistent, faithful life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any challenges or words of encouragement that you'd like to share with our students, the peers here?
Just make sure everything that you're doing from love. I know that's kind of something that I've been trying to work on, especially recently. But yeah,
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aiden. Well, now the last question is, what is the first thing that you're supposed to do in a zombie apocalypse?
go to Walmart and ride all the bikes and skateboards.
Ride on the bikes and skateboards. Give it up for Aiden, everybody.
Thank you, Aiden.
I enjoyed getting to know Aiden a little bit better. I'm sure that you did as well. Shout out to her friends. She's proud of you. Don't forget that. And ride skateboards and bikes if you are in the zombie apocalypse. That sounds like fun.
Just want to go out having fun, you know?
Yeah. Well, now on to our next segment. It's all fun and games. Tonight, we're playing the game Know Your Bro. Helping us with this is Dylan and Tyler. Welcome, Tyler and Dylan, to the stage. All right, the way that we play this show is I will be asking one of the bros a question about the other bro, and both of them will write down the answer. After about 15, 30 seconds, when they're both ready, we will ask the questioned bro what he wrote down, and he will respond with what he wrote down, and then we will see what the other bro wrote. If he's right, he gets a point. Seems pretty straightforward? Yeah. Awesome. All right, well, let's get this first question going. Tyler, what is Dylan's dream job?
Ooh.
And you'll both be answering this, like writing it down.
Okay, so you're writing down yours.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
All right, Tyler, what did you write?
mechanic.
Car mechanic.
Wow, good job.
That's good,
That was perfect. Well, Tyler, you have 1 point. Next question goes to Dylan. Dylan, what's the funniest thing that has happened to Tyler? All right, without giving too much away, because we don't want to embarrass him, Dylan, what is the funniest thing that's happened to Tyler?
Get mad.
Getting mad. All right, Tyler, what did you write?
Water bombing.
Okay, well, you can't just say that and not explain. What is water bombing?
Well, it's when someone hides behind something and you're walking down, say you're walking down a stairway or something like that.
Sure.
Or a hallway.
Yeah.
And you walk by them, you're not expecting anything, and then him or a bunch of other people just start throwing water
Wow, that
balloons
would
at you.
be funny. I wish I could
Yes.
see that on video.
Yeah.
If you have that, please show it to me later, because that sounds entertaining. All right, now question for Tyler. If your bro could be in any movie or TV show, if he could be any movie or TV show character, who would he be? You ready?
Yeah.
Tyler, what'd you write?
I did a Harry Potter character.
A Harry Potter character. Is there a specific one or just in general Harry Potter?
I think he would do Ron Weasley.
Okay, Dylan?
Ron Weasley.
Wow!
Right.
Good job! Tyler, you really kind of know your bro.
He's my brother.
He is your brother.
I don't
Last question, and this one's for Dylan. What would your bro say that you're most jealous of him for? All right, Dylan?
Lego building.
Lego building. Tyler, what'd you write?
My good looks.
Give it up for Tyler and Dylan, everybody. Well, they certainly sort of knew their bros. Well, that was fun. Next week, we will have another game with different students. So please, if you are watching from home right now and that sounded like fun and you feel safe and comfortable coming in person, please do. We can't wait to play the new games and meet new students.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So, continuing in the theme of justice that we started last week with the Devo, Matt is going to now give the part 2.
You're already quiet. Well, guys, last week we started this discussion about justice. Talking about how justice is more than just a hashtag. It's not just something that we say things about, that we have, maybe strong opinions about, but it's something that actually requires action. We have to back it up with the way we live our lives. So, kind of where we started last week, this large thought that we parted with was that we have to do something. We can't just be these people who know what is right and is wrong and what's wrong, but instead we must be people who act and defend truth and what's right and fight what's wrong. We have to do something. I shared about how I am one who in the past and even in the present can find myself in this place where I know that I should do something. Maybe I even know what I should do, or I know I should do something, but I'm not sure what to do, so I don't do anything at all. But the gospel, the example of Jesus, is what we hear time and time again in the Bible is that I'm inspired by those things to actually do something. And that's something that we ought to do as well when it comes to seeking justice. Today, the large thought that I want us to consider is, as we seek to bring about justice, we seek to do something specific. What do? We can't. There are things that we should do, and things that we shouldn't do. What's something that we should do? The words of Micah the prophet as he asked the question, what does the Lord require of me? Because he doesn't care about sacrifices and these acts of repentance necessarily by themselves. There's more to it. What do we do? And the answer he gives us, at least a small piece of it, is to love mercy. Love mercy. And to kind of just demonstrate this action that we also should take, I want to share with you guys a story from the Gospel of Luke. So I'm going to read that for you guys. It's Luke chapter 7, verses 36 through 50. This is a story some of you guys will be familiar with, and if not, that's okay. I'm telling it to you anyway. So Luke 7, 36 through 50. Now one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him. So he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. When a woman who had lived a sinful life in that town learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house, she brought in an alabaster jar of perfume. And as she stood behind him at his feet weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would know who is touching him and what kind of woman she is, that she is a sinner. Jesus answered him, Simon, I have something to tell you. Tell me, teacher, he said. 2 men owed money to a certain moneylender. One owed him 500 denarii, that's a currency, $500, and the other owed 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back, so he canceled the debt of both. Now, which of them will love him more? Simon replied, I suppose the one who had the bigger debt canceled. You have judged correctly, Jesus said. Then he turned toward the woman and said to Simon, do you see this woman? I came into your house. You did not give me any water for my feet, but she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You did not give me a kiss, but this woman from the time I entered has not stopped kissing my feet. You did not put any oil on my head, but she has poured perfume on my feet. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, for she loved much. But he who has been forgiven little loves little. Then Jesus said to her, your sins are forgiven. The other guests began to say among themselves, who is this who even forgives sin? Jesus said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. Guys, this story demonstrates this idea that we are to love mercy. As I think about the character of God, the character that we see in the life of Jesus, it is this life, this character of mercy. When God revealed himself to Moses on the mountain, he shared his name and said, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, extending love to thousands, showing steadfast love and faithfulness to people for 1,000 generations. It just all demonstrates, he said of himself, he is a God of mercy. And yet, we as human beings, we sometimes can come to this place where we want to see revenge. We want to see things be fair, which can lead us to seek justice in a way that is unmerciful, that is unkind, that is not the way that Jesus has showed us. So when it comes to seeking justice and doing something, we'll get more into what it looks like to really seek after justice. But I think one thing that we at least remember here at the beginning, as we seek justice, as we seek to do something, take action, we have to love mercy. God, Jesus, they have demonstrated mercy toward us, and we also are to demonstrate mercy toward other people. So this is at least a starting point, and we'll get more into this, but this is just a place for us to rest and think this week. Do we love mercy? Do we show mercy? That's it.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, when I hear the word justice, I just think, that's complicated.
Yeah.
But loving mercy makes it seem a little more simple. And so hopefully that also seems more simple to you guys.
If not yet, it will hopefully here soon.
Yeah, hopefully as we
into
continue
it.
to unfold the topic of justice, it becomes more clear. Well, on that note, we are now turning to the next segment, which is our hashtag stories. This past Monday, I believe, we asked you guys to share your hashtag epic fail stories with us. And now it is with great excitement and enthusiasm that we share these stories with you now. Coming up first, we have at Lilia Weatherly. 1 year on vacation, we went to Seattle and we're all playing this huge popular playground. I tried hopping on this old-fashioned merry-go-round thingy and totally launched myself into the ground in front of a bunch of little kids. Ended up scraping my knees and was super embarrassed to find out my mom got a video. Hashtag epic fail.
Man, those old school merry-go-rounds are like, they're dangerous.
They're insane. There should be rules. Like, someone needs to be watching.
It's
this all the
scary
time.
that we made those for kids, like little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I loved those things as a kid. Well, Lilia, I understand that pain and embarrassment as that has happened to me as well. Thank you for your hashtag epic fail. Next, we have at Shannon Jones. So my hashtag epic fail story is about this time in 7th grade. I was in chorus class and I was sitting on the first row of the risers and my feet were out in front of me. And this girl walked by accidentally tripping over my feet. She put her hand out to catch her balance, but I thought she was giving me a high five, so I slapped the back of her hands. And we made awkward eye contact for what felt like forever. Then she avoided me for the rest of my middle school career. Poor Shannon.
That's so relatable.
Oh!
It's like, don't want to miss it.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, Shannon, that we're laughing at what's probably a very embarrassing moment. But thank you for sharing that with us. It certainly put a smile on my
We needed
face.
that.
Our next one comes from at Abby Wheeler. One time I congratulated someone because I thought she got engaged. She didn't. She asked for what? And I awkwardly said, haha, yeah. Hashtag epic fail.
I mean, I think for me personally, I see a lot of wisdom in how Abby responded here. I mean,
Abby's your wife,
let's
right?
break it down. Haha, that's like it's making light of a
So our
situation.
next hashtag epic fail is from at Abby's BFF Carrie. When I was new to Facebook, I tried to search for my crush so I could look at his page. Instead, I posted his name on my wall and couldn't figure out how to delete it for a week. Hashtag epic fail.
Don't do that.
That's awesome.
Cat's out of the bag.
Oh,
I think
man.
he probably knew.
Yeah, he just looks on Facebook and just sees his name.
It's like Carrie Berry posted my name.
Weird.
I'm not gonna talk to her anymore.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange. Thank you for sharing your hashtag epic fail stories with us. We are so excited for next week's stories. We got a blast out of these. Starting tonight, we will be asking people to turn in their hashtag epic fail stories in person. We will also have that online. The only reason why we're doing this is so we get more stories, so that more people are involved. We understand that not everyone sees what goes on social media. If you miss one day, you might miss the post.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it in person so that we can get more people involved.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing those. I thought it was very funny, similar to the Happy News segment that will be on social media. Well, now we've gotten towards the end of our show. We have two more things. The first being the word of the week. Bringing the word of the week is Eli. Welcome Eli to the stage.
Eli, all right.
Eli, it's good to see you. If you want to sit, yeah, right there. Tell us, what is the word of the week?
The word of the week, brouhaha, a noise or overexcited reaction or response to something.
Give it up for Eli, everybody. Thank you, Eli.
Good job, Eli. Brouhaha.
Brouhaha. I don't know if you've seen Nemo.
Shark bait.
Brouhaha.
Brouhaha. Is that what they said?
I think it sounds like it.
Sure.
Surely that's what it is. Well, be sure to use brouhaha in as many different scenarios as you can. I think either yesterday or the day before, we asked on social media for you guys to share your stories of how you used last week's word. I forget what the last week's word was.
Fudge.
Fudgel. That's what it was. I'm not sure if we got responses, but we're looking for responses for this one. So try to use brouhaha. Once again, it means something, a noise or an overexcited reaction or response to something.
It sounds like what villains do when they've done something like conniving, like bruh.
With our last little bit, we go to our Netflix suggestion with Caden. Everyone welcome Caden to the stage. Caden, what is our Netflix suggestion?
Onward.
Onward. Well, that's actually on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's not really Netflix.
It's not really Netflix, but Onward. Thank you. Give it up for Caden, everybody.
Yeah, Kaden!
Well, it's not a Netflix suggestion, but we figured we'd diversify a little bit. Not everybody has Netflix. Some people have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And that's okay because Onward is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, it's got my boy Tom Holland. It also has Chris Pratt. I love the movie.
It's magic.
It's magical is a good word.
Yeah. it
Yeah.
is.
Well, thank you for the suggestion. And Disney Plus, you're welcome for the millions of viewers that you're about to have. Well, once again, that is it for tonight. I am your host, Luke Kimray. We had a great show. I've had so much.
Whoa. All right, Luke, don't forget about the logos.
What?
The awesome logos that the students made.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, we had so many awesome logos sent in by you guys, and they were awesome.
They were awesome. So let's look at some of them here real quick. This is actually all of them. So obviously we have the great prototype here, but let's see some of the new ones. All right.
The late night show starring the new guy, Luke, and the one, the only Matt Wheeler. I don't like the emphasis that it gives on you.
You know what? Your name's first. Let's not be selfish.
No, new guy is first.
Yeah. Luke. New guy Luke.
This is actually a pretty fantastic logo. Thank
Well
you for
done.
sending that in.
Yes, well done.
It's quite hilarious.
To the next one.
The late night show with WCC. I like it. It's simple. It's blue. My favorite
Yeah.
color is blue, so shout out.
It was kind of cheesy. To me.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, this one has sort of like a neon vibe.
Yeah.
The late night show with Matt and Luke.
I like that. And this is a good order for who it's with. Matt and Luke.
Yeah, you would think that, wouldn't you?
I would think that. I do think
Our next one, the youth show starring Matt and Luke. Well, since you're on it can't really be called the youth show.
You're out of high school too, Luke.
That's true.
Old man.
Well, just means I'm wise.
No, it doesn't.
The Tonight Show
Tonight
starring Matt and Luke.
Sorry, Matt and Luke. Okay, I like that.
That one's good. That looks
It's
it's
got
true
like-
homage to the late night show.
Yeah. It's
With
got like
Jimmy
it's got a James Bond look to it.
It kind of does, yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
I like it. The Tonight Show starring WCC students. I like that. It puts the emphasis not on either of us, but on the students.
Why would we want that?
Matt, I think this is all getting to you. This is a youth group.
I'm
This is
sorry, yeah. My heart's in the wrong place. It should be about the students.
yeah.
Students.
Next, we have The Tonight Show starring WCC.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like it. I also like the artistic design of it. The
Yeah.
stars they look nice.
The twinkle is good.
Yeah, there's lots of twinkles.
Yeah. Reminds me of the nursery rhyme I used to do. Yeah.
And lastly, we have the Not So Late Night Show starring WCC. I like the title.
I like
one's
that title
clever.
too. I don't know. It's not really that late when we do this
It's
show.
still light outside.
There's light outside. You can't tell a lot in here, but there's light
It's a
outside.
dark room, but that's a clever name. We like it.
It is.
So those are the different logos that we got sent in to us.
Yeah.
We currently have a team that will be narrowing that down to about 3 or 4.
Yep.
And from there, what are we going to do?
Yeah, so we'll have a panel that will kind of like narrow it down, the options that we have. They're all fabulous. Kind of narrow into 3 or 4, and then put the vote to you guys. Put the power in the hands of the people, the students in the room, the students online. We'll do this probably on the Woodlawn WCC students Instagram and Facebook accounts. But if you are not present there, we'll figure out a way for your vote to count as well. But you guys will have the opportunity to decide what the logo is going to be. And we'll also, you know what, we'll give them the option of what the name is going to be. So you can choose both things. And we'll do the name first, maybe sometime this week, before Sunday. And then after Sunday, you guys can vote on the actual picture of the logo.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
pay really close attention to social media. If not, maybe text Matt. I can give you his phone number. Just blow up his phone with text. And also let him know, the name and the design that you like for our show logo.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
Awesome. Well, I think that kind of brings us to an end. Tonight we laughed together, we cried together, we dreamt
Luke,
together.
let's not do that again.
Okay. We had another evening of fun with you.
It was fun.
This brings episode 2 to a close. Be sure to watch social media, like we said, like 1,000 times. Tell your friends and family to tune in to watch some quality, great sounding content now. We sound, once again, like chipmunks.
We sound like chipmunks. I mean, you always sounded like a chipmunk.
Thank you to all the troopers who have stuck with us through the whole entire live stream. Thank you to our students who are an awesome and amazing crowd. Thank you for the engagement that you always have. Hopefully this brought some laughs and put a smile on your face. This was the Woodlawn Late Night Show. I'm Luke Kimmery signing out with Matt Wheeler and Joe Cool, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.